This video was made possible by Skillshare. The first 200 people to sign up with the link in the description can learn for free for 2 months. So here's the question. How fast can you circumnavigate the world on regularly scheduled commercial flights? And before you try to convince an airline to start a flight around the North Pole, which technically would cross every line of longitude, there are some rules. And they're not even my rules. The good news is that I get to flex my French, because these are the rules of the Fédération Aéronautique Internationale. The bad news is that to set a record, you need to fly 22,750 miles, the length of the Tropic of Cancer. That number may seem rather arbitrarily set, but as the governing body of all aviation competitions, the FAI gets to decide the rules, but those are really the only rules. As long as you start and finish in the same place, travel that distance, and take only commercial airlines, you can set this record. So, strategy. You're not going to want to go this way. At all. You see, between here and here, the winds blow strongly to the east, while between here and here, they blow slightly less strongly to the west, and then that mirrors in the southern hemisphere. So you could fly all between the Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn, that is, if you don't want to break a record. You see, not only are these easterly winds weaker than the westerly winds further north and south, there's also just not much aviation in this area of the world. More than half of the world's population lives north of the Tropic of Cancer, which means that by sticking in this area, you get more flights flying faster. But the biggest difficulty is scheduling. You see, flight schedules are just arranged in a way that can make it really difficult to find short connections. For example, nearly all of the flights from North America to Europe leave in the evening. If you factor in time change, these flights generally take 6 hours plus 5 or 6 hours of time change from the East Coast, which means that you either have to leave in the early morning or evening in order to arrive during the day in Europe. Out of the hundreds of daily flights crossing the Atlantic, only 9 leave in the morning. They generally leave between 8 and 11 a.m. Eastern, then the evening departures leave between 5 and 11 p.m. That means there are only 8 hours per day that you can catch a transatlantic flight. If you want to connect on the US East Coast, all of your flights need to be arranged in a way to get you there in one of those 8 hours. But enough beating around the bush, here's the record to beat, held by David Springbett, a former insurance broker from the UK. He flew from Los Angeles to London to Bahrain to Singapore to Bangkok to Manila to Tokyo to Honolulu to Los Angeles in 44 hours and 6 minutes. But spoiler alert, you're not going to beat his record, because he did it in 1980, so he could use this, the Concorde. The Concorde was known for shuttling passengers from London and Paris to New York in 3 hours, but it did have a short-lived route between London and Singapore via Bahrain in 1979 and 80. That meant David Springbett was able to fly this section of his trip in 8 hours and 40 minutes instead of the 13 hours it takes today non-stop. So what's the fastest you can fly around the world today? Well, perhaps 53 hours and 14 minutes. This record was set on all subsonic flights by 2 Australians who flew from Sydney to Los Angeles to London to Bombay to Perth to Melbourne to Sydney. But I have a better suggestion. Let's say you start the very day this video comes out, October 19th, 2017. You leave London Heathrow on the 11:25 Singapore Airlines flight to Singapore, arriving at 7:30 a.m. the next morning, then just over 2 hours later you catch the 9:25 Singapore Airlines flight to San Francisco. Even though the flight is 15 hours, thanks to the international dateline you arrive just 15 minutes later at 9:40 a.m., still on Friday. Then you catch the 10:40 United flight to Houston, connect to the 5:50 United flight to Mexico City, then get dragged off at 8:05 with just enough time to hop on the 9:40 p.m. British Airways flight to London. If all goes well, that gets you back in London after having traveled 23,131 miles, more than the required distance, at 2:10 p.m. on Saturday, 50 hours and 45 minutes after you left, beating the current record. But there's probably a better itinerary than that, but I couldn't find it, so since I'm such a fan of free labor, you should go and find it, submit it to halfasinteresting.com/flight, and then, in a week, whoever has the shortest time will get a free t-shirt and year-long membership to Skillshare, which happens to be the best place to learn whatever you want to learn. They have over 17,000 courses about anything and everything. They even have a course by yours truly about how to make an educational video essay. If you do decide to attempt to break this record, you should definitely sign up for Skillshare because their iPhone and Android apps let you download any one of their classes offline so you can learn from anywhere. The best thing is that you can learn for free for 2 months by being one of the first 200 people to sign up over at skl.sh/HAI3, and then after that, it's as low as $10 per month. Now, get out of here.